Now for the track guide. Before starting, if you want to improve at a quicker pace, I just released the Academy where I host weekly group coaching sessions and workshops. So if you want to be part of that, link will be in the video description. Now going into the track guide itself, for turn 1, what you need to do is to brake heavily with this car and make sure the brake bias is put a lot more towards the rear, so you can hit 100% on the brakes without locking up. Our reference for braking here will be past this white line in front of you, so when you get to the beginning of the curb, you're going to be braking very quickly to 100% pressure, braking in a straight line using this white line on the left side to position the car, make sure that you're keeping the steering wheel completely straight so that you're maximizing the efficiency of the brakes while you're holding this amount of high percentage and using the downforce, using the brake bias more towards the rears, and now decelerating and turning in the corner. You have to release the brakes. We're going to use this kind of triangular brake shape. We're going very peaky at the top, holding as much as we can. When we feel that the car is nervous, we're starting to release in second gear, getting very close to this curb and putting the right tire a little bit on this whiter color on the tarmac near the curb. So we can cut the curb. The moment that we feel that the right tire is making contact with the curb, we're going to be pressing the throttle very aggressively, going to 100%. And this is pretty much what you can use without taking the off track. You need to have the antenna here, or the halo. You need to have it on the verge of going into green. If it touches the green, that it's going to be on 1x, and you don't want that. Now bring the car all the way towards the right side. What you need to focus on is the braking for the next corner, which is beginning of this curb. First, you're going to mount it, and then when you have the car mounted and you're using every inch of this curb, you're going to be braking and turning almost at the same time. You don't want to turn too much so that you can be efficient with the brakes, but at the same time, you don't want to keep the steering wheel straight and make this corner almost like a movement of two lines. You want to have a smooth line into this corner in the braking, so you don't want to go straight and then turn. That's not going to be efficient. So you want to brake and turn at the same time. The car will feel oversteery around here when you're holding the trail brake. So if you're feeling like the car is going to snap, you're going to drop the brakes completely. And it's okay to have a small coasting just so that the rear tires are kept in check. But then you're going to be pressing the throttle quite aggressively, 0-100. Make sure you're touching with the left tire this white line and even brush a little bit this lighter color on the curb, and then keep the throttle pinned. The right tire should reach the white and red curb, so make sure you're pushing all the way here, because the next corner you can take it flat out from this angle without any issues. And by the way, this was done with the fixed setup, by the way. So if you want to go even quicker, maybe you're running some open setups, check Ghost Setups out. They have amazingly quick setups, and we also have a 10% discount code. Now, going in the next corner, reference for braking here will be this curb. You need to put the antenna or the halo close to the middle of the curb, so the right tire is almost brushing the grass. When you're reaching this position, you're going to be braking, so first mount the curb, then brake and turn at the same time. Don't brake very hard. In fifth gear, you should be on the gas before even touching the white and red curb. Super important. Now, keeping the throttle pinned, make sure you cut the curb a lot on the left side. And now you're going to be arriving to this part. Don't go more than this because the car will bottom out. So even though you can use more track, you will lose on the exit. Now, your goal in this position is to bring the car as quickly as you can towards the left side because you don't have that much time. So the moment that you arrive in this curb, hustle the car as quickly as you can. Bring it here on the left side. The moment that you see this wall on the left side, like the green part of the wall, see, you have blue and green. When you're at the green, you're going to be applying the brakes in fifth gear. Make sure that the left tire is on the white line. If you do a good job on bringing the car quickly, you should arrive to this position. Go to fourth and trail brake. Still trail brakes, still on the brakes, and now pressing the throttle. So you see it's an elongated trail braking zone, but when you go on throttle 0-100%, make sure the left tire is almost hitting this blue part outside the white and red curb, and we're heading towards the chicane. For the chicane, first mount the curb, then you're going to be applying the brakes, braking in a straight line for this, and then turning. What's important in chicanes is to basically make a straight out of the chicane, so you need to cut a lot. What we're doing here is third gear, we're kind of coasting as we go in the corner. This is done by feel, so I don't want you to be hyper focused on replicating the inputs because driving is also instinct. So you need to feel what a car is doing. If you're not at the limit with the rear tires, you're going to be trail braking more. If you're pushing a bit more speed in the corner, you're going to be trail braking more. But if the speed feels just right, it's okay to drop the brakes like this. In third gear, you're going to be smashing the throttle, and look how much we're cutting here, completely over the orange part of the curb, keeping the throttle pinned, using all the track around here. So you're aligning yourself with the grass, not with the curb, turning with brakes at the same time in fourth gear, but don't brake too much. Your goal will be to be earlier than the apex on the throttle, so you're cutting like this and you're pressing the throttle earlier, so that ideally before braking you are as close as you can to the white line on the left side. So you need to open up even more this corner. You're going to be braking, barely using the brakes, just to make the front end point, not to slow down the car even more, because we want to use the downforce of the car as well. And then we're going to be on the throttle. You can modulate a little bit, but what's important to note is that you can cut it like this. Notice how much curb we're using here. This is key, because otherwise, if you're going to use the same throttle point, but you're not cutting as much, you will go wide here. And this is pretty much what you can take without getting the off track. This was really close to the off track limit. So make sure you're not using more than that. Shortening the distance, this is flat out. Bring the car already to the curb. So the moment that you're mounting the curb, you start to turn. You're turning and then dropping the throttle. You don't want to add brakes, or if you add the brakes, you just add 1%, but then immediately push back on. And super important is in this corner is to turn earlier than you think, because this curb can help the car rotate, but also you need to be using a lot of the track. So exploiting the track like this, right tire, brushing the grass, once again, is going to be key. Keeping the throttle pinned. Now the car will kind of bottom out around here, but it's fine because you can straighten up and nothing will happen. So it's not really bottoming out, it's just unstable. It's okay to use that line. For the next corner, once again, you're putting the car on the curb, then you're going to be braking, using this curb to open up and basically aligning yourself with the grass on the left side. And then you're going to be trail braking. Notice that we're braking quite aggressively, so close to 100% pressure. That's also key, because otherwise you might not be able to brake as late. In third gear, cutting this curb, the moment that we're feeling the suspension compressed when we're hitting the curb, that's the moment we're applying the throttle. Keeping the throttle pinned, using all this space. This is free for us to taking. Bring the car on the right side. The moment that you arrive on the right side, that's the moment that we're going to be applying the brakes. In third gear, going to second, immediately back on throttle. So you should be earlier than you think on throttle. You can modulate a little bit because you have all this runoff space and you have to take advantage of it. You can have the halo on the red and white curb in the beginning and still not going to be an off track. And this is very similar with turn 6, I believe, where we needed to bring the car all the way towards the left side. Well, this is exactly like that. Bring it as quickly as you can to this Marshall post with number 24. When you get a number 24 and you pass it, you're going to be committing more and more the corner, flat out on the gas. Then you see this pit entry line. Before it, you're going to be braking. Don't brake very hard, just downshift to third, and then pick up the throttle, take a late apex and keep the throttle pinned. And in short, that's the lap. So I hope you like it. I hope you enjoy it. If you want to improve at a quicker pace, check out my courses, check out the academy, GITGUDracing.com. And I'm looking forward to see you in the next one. Bye bye.